Just let me know when.
We are live. Hey guys,
Cool.
So this is Dan from FBA Legends, and I have a special guest here, Cameron from Viral Launch. How you doing, Cameron?
What's up? It's good to be here.
Yeah, so Cameron is going to show us how to do product research and how to use Viral Launch for product research. And I'll let you take over. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Awesome. Yeah. So Viral Launch, basically, our goal is to be a one-stop shop for Amazon sellers. And we really try our best to keep in tune with what is going on in the Amazon space and to release products or services as a result of that. And if you are familiar with us, you'll know that we're a very data-oriented company. So we don't want to make any assumptions in this space. Instead, we use data to kind of lead and guide us as we release products or software or services. And so just to give an overall summary of what Viral Launch is and does, because that kind of gives a context for product discovery and product research from our standpoint. Viral Launch has kind of three main legs, three main purposes. The first, we offer creative solutions. So we have in-house listing optimization teams and in-house photography teams. It's a huge aspect of succeeding on Amazon, so we wanted to keep that part of our business. Number two is we offer a launch service, so basically keyword ranking for your specific products. If you want to target a specific keyword, we help you increase ranking for those specific keywords. And kind of the third leg, which is probably our biggest, it's kind of one of the biggest aspects of our company, is our software. And that's what I'm going to be kind of going through today. Our software, we have three main tools. The first is product discovery, the second is market intelligence, and the third is keyword research, all centered around succeeding on Amazon, but each have their own individual purpose and each integrate with each other in a really cool way. So if I could actually share my screen to show.
Yeah, actually perfect.
Awesome. Okay, 1 second here. All right, so just from the perspective of that's a good summary of what Viral Launch does. And if you want to find out more, we have our website and our YouTube channel. But from the perspective of product discovery or finding products to sell on Amazon and making sure that the right products, really from what we've seen and what we know, we've worked with over 8,000 brands at this point in time. We've done over 30,000 product launches. And so we've aggregated a lot of data. And A, that's the data that is going into all of our software tools. But B, that's the perspective that I'm speaking from today. And from what I've seen and from what we've seen here at Viral Launch, almost everything stems back to picking the right product. And so this is a huge pain point that we saw for sellers in this space, and it's something that we really wanted to get right. So picking the right product from the get-go will set you up for success. If you end up picking the wrong product or a bad product from the get-go, it will set you up for failure. And so all of that in mind, I'll show you kind of what we have and the process that Viral Launch uses and gives you to find just killer products. Okay, so again, three software tools. I'm logged into Viral Launch right now. On the left-hand side, you're going to see our nav bar. There's a lot here, but the top three things here are our three software tools: product discovery, market intelligence, keyword research. Just to give you a basic summary over what each of these do. Product discovery gives you product ideas, okay, in a couple different ways, but this helps you find products. Market intelligence helps you validate those products. And keyword research gives you search data and different keyword recommendations for those products. So I'm just going to show you, it's like kind of a three-step process. It's really easy. It's really simple. But let's go to product discovery right now. Again,
this is what the person that's first coming in and what they want to look for, they're going to go to product discovery.
Yep, that's right. So if you're a seller and let's say you don't have any product yet, or you don't even have any idea or ideas, going to product discovery is going to help give you those products. It basically product discovery helps sift through every single product, every single market on Amazon and pulls out kind of what's really good to get into. Half of that is recognizing what a good market looks like, but half of that also is just pulling up the right product, right? And so product discovery helps pull up those products. Okay, so I'm in the tool right now, and if you can see my screen, right? Just want to make sure everything's good. Okay, so this is product discovery. There are 4 different ways to search here. Now, I'm not going to get into specifics just because it can get
Yeah,
pretty
let's go over
overwhelming,
the very
complicated.
basics of what they will do to start searching for products, maybe selecting the categories and the filters that we have.
Yeah. So basically, as a new seller, you are going to want to focus on this search method right here. Again, product discovery. This tool is centered around giving you product ideas. In product discovery, there are 4 different ways to find those products. Product search is going to pull up a bunch of individual products. Keyword search is going to pull up specific keywords. I'm going to show you what that looks like. Brand helps you dig into different brands on Amazon to replicate their success, to see what they're selling. And category helps you find or dig into different subcategories on Amazon. For now, what we're only going to stick with is keyword search. Keyword search is the quickest and best and the easiest method to finding and pulling new products and new product markets. Okay, so let's say I'm on keyword search right now in product discovery again, and you can see here I have all categories on Amazon selected. I don't want to limit myself for now. Let's just say I'm searching in all categories. Okay, for a new product, for a new market. You have the ability in product discovery to input what exactly you are looking for. And there are a lot of different metrics that you can put in. For now, though, I'm just filling in these guys right here. Okay, so the first, average monthly revenue. Basically, let's just say I want to find a product that's making at least, and you have a minimum and a maximum here. I want to find a product that's making at least $15,000 a month. That'd be pretty nice, right? Like $15,000 a month. It's 15K more than I'm making.
To clarify, revenue means like that's what sales are. It's not the full profit comes to your pocket yet.
Right. That's like top line. So that's not taking into account margins or like shipping or anything like that. Basically, that's top line revenue. Now, average price. Let's say I want to find a product that on Amazon is priced in between. It's at least $15, but it does not go past $50. Okay, so now what's the reasoning behind this? Well, the reasoning behind this is because generally for someone that's entering into a new market or entering into Amazon for the first time, generally speaking, something in between this price point is good to go for. Something lower, you're going to be playing with low margins, and something playing with just more expensive products that takes more capital to get into. So I want to find a product that's in between $15 and $50 to sell. Now, I'm also going to, right over here, I'm going to cap out, actually, one second. I'm going to turn on Do Not Disturb just so I don't disturb you guys. Actually, maybe not.
Now we all know what you're up to.
Well, shoot. Usually there's a Do Not Disturb. Oh, there it is. There we go. So, okay. Go back to keyword here. Review count. I as a seller, I want to limit the amount of reviews that I am searching for. So I want to limit the amount of reviews that products have that I'm trying to find. Because if I'm a seller and I'm trying to find a good market to enter, typically having a market with a low review count, having other products that have a low amount of reviews is really good. Why? Because let's say I find a product and the average number of reviews in that market is like 500. That means I'm going to need more reviews in order to compete with those products, right? So the goal then is to find a product that has a low amount of reviews to compete against. So in this case, typically I'm inputting a max of 200 reviews, meaning that I want to find products and markets that have on average below 200 reviews. That's a pretty good spot to enter into.
Would you say that 200 reviews for a beginner that's never started selling before, would that not be a competitive market to get into?
Say that again?
Like having 200 reviews, up to 200. Say you see competitors that have 100, 150, 200. Would that be a competitive market to get into?
As a new seller, so basically I don't want, by inputting 200, ideally you're going to find as a new seller a market with the least amount of reviews as possible to compete in, right? But I don't want to limit myself too much.
Sure.
Right? So by putting if I were to put a max of 50, like, yeah, I'd be able to pull up markets that have at max 50 reviews then, but I would also be limiting a bunch of other markets that I might not find if I were to increase this to 200. And really the answer to this question comes down to what each seller is able to compete against, right? So if you find a really good market to enter into and the average amount of reviews now is like 200, I would still say that as a new seller, you're able to compete against that. That's kind of the threshold in my opinion. It depends on the market and it depends on the seller as well and how much risk you're willing to take. All that being said, ideally you're finding markets that have the least amount of reviews on average as possible, right? So now I'm going to scroll down here and just touching on that one more time, like it's really hard to put an exact number on barrier to entry,
Just have
right?
to play with it and test it.
Right, exactly. It all depends on what the seller is capable of. But if I scroll down, I can open up, if you see here, these are pretty basic metrics, right? You have the ability in product discovery to input some advanced metrics. Now, I'm not going to focus on these. All I want you to know is that there are a lot of different things that you have the power to control in product discovery, okay? The only thing that I have filled in or that I'm going to fill in here is this guy right here, search volume, okay? So I want to basically just make sure that people are actually searching for these keywords that I'm going to bring up, okay? And so by inputting a minimum of 5,000, this ensures that all the keywords that I pull up in keyword search are going to have at least 5,000 searches a month, because I want to make sure that the keywords that I'm pulling up, people are actually searching for. Now, this right here is actually an integration with keyword search, which is our third tool. I'll explain that later. But basically, all I have filled in are 4 metrics. At least $15,000 a month, in between $15 and $50, at most 200 reviews, and at least 5,000 searches a month. Okay, just as an example.
Would
So
you
now,
also limit the number of sellers or any other filters at all?
for now, no. Like there are a lot of different things that I would do, but in this case of just simply showing, pulling up simple markets, like this is what I'm going to go with for now. But yes, you do have the ability to limit that as well. So I'm going to click on show keywords, and basically it's going to pull up, once it loads here, keywords. Right now, each of these, let's look at this first guy here. I feel like this is a supplement, right? So maybe I won't focus on that one. But like let's take a look at this second one here, blackhead vacuum. Okay. So the first thing that you're going to notice is that the tool pulls up all these keywords. Now these are keywords. We use keywords in a synonymous way with markets. So blackhead vacuum, that is a market. That is also a keyword. Hemp oil for pain relief, that is a keyword. That's also a market. Mother's Day, a lot of people were searching for Mother's Day things. DIM supplement, all these are keywords and markets in the same way, okay? Now, what you're also going to notice is that you have a snapshot of data right here. So you're going to see the market, blackhead vacuum. You're going to see the category that it's in. Right here, you're also going to see the search volume for blackhead vacuum. So instantly, I can take a look at this and I can know that there are 27,000 people a month exact searching for blackhead vacuum. Okay. Now, at the same time, I can look at idea score here. Now, we have at Viral Launch, we have this thing called the idea score. The idea score is basically a conglomeration of a lot of different data points that ends up giving a market or product a rating on a scale of 1 to 5 stars. If a product has a 5-star rating, that means that our system is tagging it as a pretty promising market to get into. Now, you can see kind of all the data here that you would need to actually dig into the product further. So like here, this column is average price, right? So the average price of a blackhead vacuum is $25. Then you have different metrics like sales numbers, the number of reviews, the sales to reviews ratio. Just to touch on this a little bit, this number is really important for new sellers to understand. Basically, this is the ratio of number of units sold compared to the reviews. Okay? Basically, if the number of sales is higher than the number of reviews, you're going to have a higher ratio. A higher sales to reviews ratio means that this market is easier to enter into. Does that make sense? So
Yeah.
go ahead.
So the higher the ratio of the sales to reviews, the higher the sales volume is.
Yes. The higher the sales volume is relative to the amount of reviews that are present in that market. So if you remember before, we talked about wanting to get into a market that has a low amount of reviews, right? But if that market also has a low amount of sales, then that's not really worth it.
Yeah,
Or it's not worth it. So ideally, you're going to find a market that has a lot of sales and a low amount of reviews. And the higher this ratio is, that is a good indicator that that is present in a market. Okay. Now, at the same time here, you also have average revenue. So I can take a look and see like, okay, Blackhead Vacuum is making around $35,000 a month on top line revenue. And that's without landed unit costs. That's without a bunch of different metrics taken out of that top line revenue. But for now, I have a good indication of what I can expect around getting into the black. Now, what you're also going to see is that on the product discovery tool, we have these badges, these warning popular result badges. Now, this does not necessarily mean that a ton of people are sourcing Blackhead vacuums as we speak. However, it does indicate that there are sellers that are interested in this market specifically. Either they're finding it, or they're clicking on it, or they're digging into it through these tools. And so this gives you...
And just to touch on that point, I actually had some questions about this. And maybe we can touch on that later on. But essentially, the way you just search for those results, whoever is going to watch this video is going to search the same way for those results, and they're going to get the exact same results too.
Yeah.
So that means that at some point, we're going to have 10 people that are seeing the same thing and selling the same product. So one of the questions was, how do you avoid that, first of all? And obviously, the one answer is to filter really well and use different numbers and so on. But what is the likelihood of everyone landing on the same results page kind of thing?
No, that's good. So really the purpose of inputting a warning popular result was to show you that other people are finding that product, right? Again, it does not mean just because 10 people go and search what I'm searching right here does not mean they're going to actually go through the process of sourcing Blackhead Vacuum. Sure. It does, however, indicate and gives you a warning that other people are looking at the same thing, right? So in order to avoid that, really what it all comes down to is mastering this tool.
Yeah, right? And researching and seeing the numbers yourself, yeah.
Absolutely. And becoming very familiar with how to pinpoint exactly what you're looking for. So I've been training people in product discovery and just product research for actually, you'd be surprised at the amount of people I'm digging into this data. Like my goal as a trainer with things like this is to teach people how the process of finding you exactly which numbers specifically to put into this tool, but to show you the process of finding it. A majority of people, I'm going to say, do not learn the process. They just take the numbers that I give them and input them exactly. So my core piece of advice to you would be to learn this system, learn the data, and learn the different metrics that you can input to pinpoint the products that no one else is finding. If you can master the data, you can master finding products that no one else is finding.
Yeah.
Okay.
So let's say we like this Blackhead Vacuum.
Yep. So let's say you want to dig into Blackhead Vacuum. The process that we just went through to find this, that is product discovery. Okay. Now, it goes a whole lot deeper than that because there are, again, 4 different methods to search, and each of these provides a different value prop. Like brand search allows you to spy on competing brands as well as find additional products, things like that. There are different value props for these different search methods. For now, though, what I just showed you was finding a product, finding a market through product discovery. So let's say I really want to dig into Blackhead Vacuum now. That then involves the second tool, which is, let me expand this again. So we just went through product discovery, right? Now, digging into Blackhead Vacuum, all of a sudden that kickstarts market intelligence, which is step 2. So I'm going to click this button. Again, we have integration with each of our tools. So clicking this button, it says View on Market Intelligence. This is going to allow me to bring up, loads here, Market Intelligence, Blackhead Vacuum, and I'm going to analyze the Blackhead Vacuum specifically. So again, allowed me to find Blackhead Vacuum. Clicking into or going into market intelligence now as step 2 allows me
And
to.
what that does is
It allows me to. It basically pulls up all of the necessary data to make an educated decision on whether I want to get into this market or not. Basically, I found the product here, right? But now I'm asking myself, okay, do I actually want to sell a Blackhead Vacuum? Market intelligence helps you answer that, basically. Okay. Now, by how does it do that? Basically, it brings up all of the necessary data. So here you can see the monthly revenue. Okay, so you can see the revenue.
All the temporary. This is all results from all the sellers and competitors.
Yes. So this is page 1 for Blackhead Vacuum. These results, these sales numbers. I can load more if I want to, but right now this is pulling all of the sales numbers for each of these. Each of these are Blackhead Vacuums on Amazon, right? So this guy, Aldum, is ranking first. Voyeur is ranking second, right? Each of these are a Blackhead Vacuum. Each of these, you can see the BSR, monthly revenue.
Let me know if the process I take is correct. I usually change the review quantity. Like I click on that to sort it by lowest to highest.
By review quantity?
The review quantity, and then I take a look at, if you click on that, I think it'll sort it by lowest to highest, right?
By review quantity, yes, you can.
Yeah, and then from there, I'll see how many sales they're making and how many reviews are in correlation to that.
Yes, are correlated.
Is it typically a good idea to do it that way?
No, that is. There are so many ways to consider whether a market is worth getting into or not. Typically, I will do product research based on the exact positioning, the ranking of each product on page 1, because it gives me a good idea of what I can getting into this market. So basically, if I were to get into Blackhead Vacuum, I was not on page 1. I mean, I'm not going to make any sales. The goal of getting into a market means sourcing that product and getting to page 1 for the primary.
That makes a lot of sense. Yeah.
Right. That is, if you're not on page 1, you're not making sales. Basically, you are, but you're really not in the market. And so, looking at each of these, you see the rank number here, the number from like 1 to 24. If I'm looking at this, I can now determine, okay, let's say I get into this market and I aim for position 24 to 15. Well, I can expect anywhere between, I would say, $7,000 to $20,000 in monthly revenue. As a whole, on page 1, my goal is going to be to get as high up as possible. Being realistic, I could probably expect anywhere between $10,000 to $30,000 at first after getting into this market, meaning sourcing this product and getting to page 1. That's at first. Over time, if I'm able to stay in and compete in this market, then that revenue number would most likely go up. Okay. But looking at market intelligence, I'm able to accurately predict what my revenue is going to be, able to see if price is consistent, which is really important. If price is all over the place, then it's going to be difficult for me to get into. I can input margin here. I can see product margin, which you can click into margin and you can input your landed unit cost. Let's say the landed unit cost of a Blackhead Vacuum is like $4. I'm just spitballing here. That then changes the unit margin for each of these products. Okay, so now, again, my landed unit cost is 4. It gives you all the fees that are associated with sourcing this product and selling it on Amazon. And so it gives me an more accurate picture of what revenue I can expect, net revenue, net income I can expect, as well as unit margin. And then with each of these as well, you can take a look at sales numbers and you can click into each of these to see sales trends for specific products, as well as a lot of different things. See review trends. You can see the average rating here. And you can see if it's sold by FBA or FBM or Amazon specifically. And so really, again, market intelligence, the goal of market intelligence is to give you the data that you need to make a smart decision of whether you want to get into this or not. If you go to, we have a second tab here called Market Trends. Oh, shoot, I guess it's still loading. I'm having some internet issues here.
No, I can see you and hear you well for now, so it's a good start.
So the Blackhead Vacuum, this graph right here is the market sales trend. So sales for the entire blackhead vacuum market as a whole. So what can I use this for? I can use this to determine whether this market is seasonal, meaning maybe it spikes in December, and I want to make sure that this is not a product that spikes in December, but that's consistent throughout the year. Looking at this graph, our data goes back to December of 2017, which is not that far, but it's conglomeration of present data.
Yeah,
some data that we have goes.
Make sure it's like a fidget spinner that's like one time kind of spike and that's it.
Exactly. You can take a look at this graph and know that it's consistent or seasonal or declining, right? You can also look at price trends. And this typically, if a market has a steep decline, like if the price is dropping by a significant amount, then you know it's getting more competitive typically. And you can also look at the review count trend here. Amazon has been making some review changes and has been removing a lot of reviews recently. So here, you can actually see that drop, right? It's very interesting. Basically, again, market intelligence helps you decide whether you should get into this market further or not. Now, again, here's that star rating. 5-star product. The revenue seems to be really, really good across the entire first page here. Sales are pretty high, and the review count is honestly pretty low to enter into. So looking at those 3 metrics, I'm happy with the revenue, I'm happy with the sales, I'm happy with the review quantity. So I actually want to really consider getting into this market. And you can do a lot of different things. Like there's a cost calculator here, which helps you determine how much it's going to cost to get into this market. There's a deal analysis is basically just a conglomeration of a lot of information. But all that being said, let's say I want to get into this market now. Market intelligence has helped me make that educated decision. And so what I'm going to do now is kind of go on to step 3, which actually has been a step that has involved this entire process, which I'll explain. But so going back to, I'm on product again. We went through product discovery to find the product. We put it through market intelligence to look at all the sales numbers, all the reviews, all the market trends, and everything like that. And now I want to bring it up on keyword research. Now this is our keyword tool. Basically, keyword research helps you find what people are actually searching for on Amazon. And so I've actually been using this throughout the entire process. Again, I'll explain that. But keyword research is going to help me pull up exact search volume. So let's input. I'm just going to copy and paste here. Blackhead vacuum is the keyword, right? I'm putting blackhead vacuum into keyword research. I'm going to show you what it pulls up. So here, I can see that blackhead vacuum at the top right here, the keyword blackhead vacuum is getting 27,000 searches in a month. That's pretty good, right? What I want to know is if there are any other primary keywords that I need to take into consideration for this market. Maybe I can use them in my copy, and or maybe there are other keywords that are better to actually look into for a blackhead vacuum. Okay? So blackhead vacuum is the baseline. It's 27,000.
Yeah, so essentially, if I understand it correct, you found the item you're interested in, and now you're looking at the keywords that might be ranking better even for that same item.
Yes, and or that just more people are searching for in general, right? So if there is a keyword that more people are searching for, then I'm going to want to double check the fact that this market is appealing, because typically if I'm looking at a market, I want to find the best keyword to use to dig into that data, to put in market intelligence. So now I'm just going to see whether there's another keyword. So the first keyword here that I see is called blackhead remover, right? If you look here, here's the exact search volume. Blackhead remover actually has 100,000 searches. You compare that to blackhead vacuum, which has 27,000 searches. Okay? So I'm going to look up, I'm going to click this button here. I'm going to look up blackhead remover on Amazon because I'm interested, because it has more searches. So this is the blackhead remover market. Now, if you'll notice one specific thing here. So just like blackhead vacuum had the market, the keyword, actually, let me pull up blackhead vacuum on Amazon just to show you. Oh, wait, here. Going back to product discovery here. So I pulled up, this is blackhead vacuum. I searched blackhead vacuum on Amazon. Take a look at this market, right? It's all blackhead vacuums. Again, this market had 27,000 searches in a month, right? Now, if you go over to blackhead remover, again, remember, this keyword had 100,000 searches a month. But if you'll notice, there are 3 different types of products in this market. There are blackhead remover tools like this. There's a blackhead vacuum, and there are beauty products like blackhead masks.
So in a way, this could be your way to find a product that you never even thought of.
Exactly. Exactly. So just like, yeah, exactly. So keyword research brought up blackhead vacuum, which is more specific. Blackhead remover was kind of got into another different type of market. However, also, this pulls up 3 different markets instead of blackhead vacuum. And so let's say I still want to source the blackhead vacuum. I still should use, in this case, and this is a little bit of a complicated concept to get down, but I still want to use blackhead vacuum, this keyword, as the primary anchor for the data that I'm looking into. Why? Because looking at blackhead remover, even though it has many more searches in a month, it involves 3 different types of products. So if I'm looking at the sales data for blackhead remover, it's going to involve sales numbers for the hand tools, for the creams, and for the vacuums themselves. So what does all of this mean? This means that even though, I'm going back to keyword research, even though blackhead vacuum had less searches, if I want to sell a blackhead vacuum, I should still target this keyword compared to blackhead remover. Does that make sense?
Yeah, so use the blackhead remover. I would say it would make more sense to target that specific item because you're covering different 3 or 4 more different items in that case.
Right.
So a person that's typing for that mask, for example, will find your vacuum.
Right.
Change their mind. I want to buy the vacuum.
Exactly. What I would do in this case, if let's say I chose to source a blackhead vacuum. If I chose to source a blackhead vacuum, I would probably want to target blackhead vacuum first. Just as if I did not have a crazy amount of money and resources to support ranking for a bunch of keywords, I would probably, as a new seller, want to just get my product into the blackhead vacuum market and then jump as well into, after I've ranked on blackhead vacuum and I started ranking there, I would probably want to try to get my product ranking on blackhead remover just because there are more searches there. And so,
yeah, so it'll be easier for the blackhead vacuum to be ranked compared to the remover.
Exactly. Yeah. That's what keyword research allows you to do. Keyword research allows you, it's a little bit, again, more of a complicated concept, but it allows you to pull up relevant keywords for the products that you're looking at. And it also helps you look at exact sales number or search numbers, for each of those terms. So like one more example, pour vacuum. Pour vacuum is blackhead vacuum. And it's just another related keyword that also is pulling in about 20,000 searches a month. All of these are, for extractor, all of these are keywords that then you can put into your listing to just basically optimize all of your keywords, every single one, to help.
Yeah, and this is coming to the keyword listing optimization. So that's like a more in-depth, more advanced kind of stuff at this point.
Right. And that's for another time. All you need to know is this helps you find and pick the right word to use and search for your products. So just as a summary, again, I know there's probably a lot of information there. 3 steps, basically, 3 different tools. Product discovery helps you pull up those products. Market intelligence helps you dig into the data even further to make sure that you're picking the right product to sell. Keyword research, make sure that you're using the right keywords. Helps you dig into search volume, make sure that people are actually searching for the product. And that's it. Simple as that.
Right? It's simple. So
it really is, though. The process as a whole, again, you really should, part of this process is knowing what you want to search for, knowing what you're capable of. But really, it's as simple as that. Inputting what you want to find, finding it, and then making sure it's good to go.
Yeah, and just to add to that, I mean, product research is one of the longest parts, and most people give up on that part because it's hard to find a good product. And what you just found right now, the blackhead remover, that was probably sold so many times with so many sellers.
Yep.
So like, even if the people that are watching the video, they might have liked the numbers they just showed. I hope they don't jump on this blackhead vacuum right away, because it's probably not a good product to sell at this point.
Yep. But if you choose to, I mean, honestly, taking a look at the data for this, if I wanted to get into beauty, and of course there are a bunch of different things that involve blackhead vacuum, like FDA, electronic, beauty, all these things. But I mean, it has the potential to make on average $35,000 a month, and I found that literally in like 2 minutes.
Yeah.
So the potential for this tool is really insane, and we've seen sellers pull up crazy products with it. So the opportunity is there, really.
Perfect. Now, quick question for you. So we are gonna link, obviously, Viral Launch in our link in the description in our group, and we have our coupon attached to it. I believe it's 50% off. Is that right?
Say it again.
The coupon that we attach to our members, this is exclusive for the members. They get 50% off when they sign up.
Yes, that's correct.
And if there's any questions, they're more than welcome to ask us in the group. I hope you'll join our group too and help us around there if they ask questions about Viral Launch. Otherwise, I think that was a really great session. I appreciate all the time you took to explain all this in depth like that.
For sure. Of course, it's my pleasure. And really, if you want to keep up to date with what we're doing, we're actually kind of revamping our content right now. We're going to start putting out more content on our YouTube channel. And we also have, Casey and I have a podcast. It's called Follow the Data. So if you want to keep up to date with what we're doing and the discussion around Amazon, check out our YouTube channel and our podcast. But for now, it's my pleasure.
I'll make sure to link your podcast to our group as well so people can tune in.
Awesome. I appreciate that.
Well, I appreciate your time, Cameron.
Of course. Thank you so much.
We'll talk soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.